started by turning a barn into a house, and we've got some other structures on the property, about 2 acres, that kind of match that. My wife has worked very hard to make it a beautiful area with the yard and the flowers, and over across the yard you can see the chicken coop. The coloring kind of matches the barn, and then we also have a garage here. It's also the monitor style with the same coloring. You'll notice we kind of have a barn theme going here on the property. So let's go ahead and get our Third Coast Craftsman Our Style tour going, shall we? You'll notice a lot of iris in bloom right now. You'll notice that we put the door on the end of the run rather than on the side like the Third Coast Craftsman did. Just made sense based on where this coop is located on our property. We also did a little bit higher roof because we knew that the end would be lower, so we've got this door probably about 6 feet tall, so the rest of it is accordingly a bit taller. So first thing you'll notice is we got a Dutch door on this thing, and my wife had that special request, and so we put the Dutch door on. Got this little latch, and you can open that separately and just look in and say, "Hi girls, how you doing?" Yeah, take a look around the run, throw some treats in if they need some, and that makes it kind of handy to have this Dutch door. So there's 4 hinges, 2 for each half of the door on this setup here. Then we have the caribeaner with the safety latch, and that'll get us inside. Can I come in? Can I come in? Yeah. So you will notice, here's the feeder style that we use, just a 5-gallon bucket with the feeder hoods that they can reach in there and eat. We do have the reinforcement braces on each one of the uprights, and you can see the structure on our ceiling here. Can't remember the distance between each one, but it's pretty sturdy, and we built this on the ground and then put it up on the top. And then we did get steel from a local supplier for the roof. Now this is actually a lot longer run, which we wanted for the chickens just to have a place to get around. So it's a 16-foot run, and that works really well for them. Lots of space, lots of places to run around. They've got a structure here for playing, and they like getting on the swing and going back and forth. Hardware cloth all the way around. Allows good ventilation and good protection from critters. We do have problems with raccoons mainly and skunks out here in our area. Let's see, other differences. We didn't put an actual door on the coop. The ladies just go in when it gets dark and they come out when it gets light, and we're in a pretty mild climate, so we don't need to keep the heat in as much. We may consider putting a automatic door in there, and then we use this another 5-gallon bucket for watering. This soil that we have here is really sandy, so they like that for digging and dusting, and they've got their little dusting area back there underneath the coop. Oh, also along the side, this was kind of an experiment for feeding, but we do still have some grit in these for them to get a little bit of grit if they want to supplement their food. And then we throw treats in this little trough here, usually the grubs, and they go crazy when those come in. They know when we're coming. All in all, just a very sturdy structure, and we do have a spring on the door so it closes automatically, which works really well. You can see the barn right across the way there. We have a little wire latch, pull latch Found this at Home Depot, really handy instead of just a piece of string. And that lets us out. There we go. This has to be lifted up a little bit. And then we can put the carabiner back on. There you go, ladies. Already fed them and watered them this morning, so they're pretty happy. We also just kind of dress it up a little bit with the hanging baskets that have the drip irrigation to them. These red trees, I can't remember what kind they are, but we've planted them 2 years ago, and they're just going gangbusters. And then we have this little planter outside just to kind of dress up the area, and it's got drip irrigation to it also. There's a little different angle of the structure. It kind of fits in nice in the property back here, and just looks like a nice addition. It's done really well. We have 9 chickens right now. Started with 11, but we lost a couple, and they are just laying like gangbusters right now. This is 1st of May, and we're getting a lot of eggs. You know, like I said, I just got a couple of days worth out, and it was like 26 eggs, and there's a couple in there already from when I collected them this morning. I just wanted to give you a little different angle on the metal roof. You can see it slopes away from the coop, and it's over the edge a little bit on each side. We did not go wider on the coop like Third Coast Craftsman did, but like I said, we extended it to 16 feet long, so they got lots of room. And we'll go back around the back here. We have been very fortunate. This hardware cloth has been great against any critters. Like I said, we do have coyotes in the area. I haven't had much trouble with them, but raccoons and skunks also. And we've taken, and I'll spread this back a little bit so you can see it. Well, it's down pretty deep, but underneath there we go, you can see some of it there. Underneath the ground, we buried some vinyl coated fencing that comes out about 18 inches from the edge of the bottom of the coop, and that discourages the critters from trying to dig. So if you'll notice the actual coop itself, we did put the little windows in from Amazon. They open and close for ventilation. We did put some hardware cloth over this just for better critter prevention. And you can see the doors, we did make those a little bit bigger than the Third Coast Craftsman did, and then the height is about the same for easy access as well as easy clean out. So let's look inside here. We got the offset door here so that you only have to latch one door, the other one holds itself in. And if you look inside here, you'll notice that it is a little bigger. It is actually 6 feet by 5 feet, so it's a little bigger area for the ladies to hang out. We did 4 laying nesting boxes here, and we'll go to the outside and get a better look at that. But then you can see inside the framing, and we did 2 small windows, one on the back and one on the side, and that's the inside of the coop. You can see the tray that I will tell you a little bit more about as far as cleanup goes. Hello, lady. So our tray here is still kind of a work in progress. As you can see, our roosts are crosswise. They should be kind of angled based on the Third Coast Craftsman design. We've got a piece of visqueen up right now that kind of catches the chicken droppings, and we can kind of scoop that into a tray here, and that's pretty easy for cleanup. And the rest we can scoop along the tray here. the bucket, same as the West Coast Craftsman has designed. So I'm thinking that we need to put in the angled roosts and see if that'll work. I just got to convince my wife of that idea. Now this is quite a significant change from the Third Coast Craftsman plan, but we actually built a structure on the back side of the coop, or the coop, and it's the laying boxes on top, and then we got storage down beneath. I will show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So if we look around here, you can see the laying boxes and easy access. Got two latches here. We just use a little cheap carabiner. And oh, here's somebody in here now. Hi there. Hi, Pee-wee. Laying eggs. They like that particular box. We use the dried hay bits in these. Oh, there's an egg right there. Perfect. I gathered about 25 eggs this morning from the last couple of eggs, but we got some chains to kind of hold this up, and they really like this. We got some of these plastic mats, but then the dried hay works really well for them. Okay, you go ahead about your business. Yeah, go ahead. Finish up. All right, match that up, and then we got 3 doors here, 3 areas. A lot of storage here. This is something that my wife particularly wanted. We got latches on each door. Lots of room. We've got some grubs there and some extra feed there available. And then the middle area here, more storage. And then over on the far end here, the third door, more storage with the shelf. Some of our supplies, some grit, some fake eggs if we need them for help with where to lay. And then it's the top of this box that we built separately and then just latched it on. We tried to match up the T111 grooves, and we trimmed out the windows a little bit differently than Third Coast Craftsman did, but I think it looks pretty good. Around the back side here we do have some storage. We hang up some of our cleaning tools on these hooks there, and we got a 55-gallon drum of water that we use to refill the water bucket inside. One more walk around before we conclude the video. We're probably not quite as skilled as the Third Coast Craftsman, but it is something that most people can do, even if they're not expert builders. Turned out well for us, and it's a nice structure. The chickens seem to love it, and most of all they give us lots of eggs, and it adds a little bit to the beauty of our property. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it.